everyone. Today we are going to study about the chapter 10, that is Biomolecule class 12th. And this is a very interesting chapter because it related to our life. In this chapter we are going to study there are different kinds of chemical compounds which are very essential for our daily life processes. For example, carbohydrates, proteins, fats, nucleic acid, vitamins. These all are very important. So this is a chapter biomolecules. Bio means living organism, and molecules means chemical substances. That means some chemical substances which are very essential for the living processes, that is called biomolecules. Okay, in the biomolecule, all the biomolecule including the organic chapter. And here first we are going to study about the carbohydrate, then proteins, then fats, then nucleic acid, and then vitamins. So first is your carbohydrate. What is carbohydrate actually? Carbohydrate is nothing, is a hydrate of carbons. Primarily this is study that the carbohydrate is a hydrate of water. Why? Because its general formula is CxH2O ka whole twice Y. That means we can say that in the primarily the carbohydrates have general formula which is CxH2O whole Y. So this general formula apply for all the carbohydrates. It is just assumed. It was just assumed that it should follow all the carbohydrate, but some of the carbohydrates are not follow this general formula. First, we are going to study some compounds which follows this general formula. For example, C6H12O6. C6H12O6, this is a glucose molecular formula, and it will follow this general formula. How? For example, 6. This is the 6th. For the example, X is a number of carbon. The number of carbons are 6. And whole twice, this is H2 and Y. We have to put the value which follow this hydrogen and oxygen number equal with the general formula. So we have to put the 6. If we put 6 here, then 6 to the 12. That means 12 hydrogen is there, okay, and the 6 oxygen is there. That means this general formula will follow glucose formula. Fine. So this is the carbohydrate. But if we're talking about the acetic acid is not a carbohydrate first of all. This is an organic acid you can say, but this is not a carbohydrate. But it still follows this formula. How? For example, this is C2H2 ka whole 2. This is CH3, COH. How many carbons are there? There are 2 carbons are there. And H2 ka whole 2, it followed to the 4 hydrogens. 4 hydrogens are there, 3 plus 1. And 2 oxygens are there. That means it will follow this general formula. But it is not a carbohydrate. So here this general formula is not applied for all the carbohydrates, or you can say all other different carbohydrates which are not carbohydrates, generally acids. They also follow this general formula, so it will be discarded. One more example, that is rhamnose. Rhamnose is also a carbohydrate, but this molecular formula is not followed by general formula. For example, its formula is C6H12O5. C6H12O5, if you apply this formula in this general formula, then how many carbons? 6. H2 ka whole 6 if we put, then 6 to 12. Okay, hydrogens are equal, carbon are equal, but oxygen O6. Oxygen are here is 5, but here is 6. So this general formula will not apply for all the carbohydrates, and this general formula is discarded and new theory will exist. Like we can say that carbohydrates are polyhydroxy ketone and polyhydroxy aldehyde. The new definitions has come out after this general formula that carbohydrates are polyhydroxy. You can say this is polyhydroxy ketone and poly polyhydroxyaldehyde. That means this is a compound of aldehyde and ketone where the hydroxy OH group is presenting different numbers 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is, we have to put a polyhydroxy ketone aldehyde. Thank you so much for today.